Emergency response team, what's the situation?
We need an ambulance now.
She was known for her radiant smile, quiet confidence, and a rare, almost unbreakable bond with one of nature's most intelligent and dangerous predators. But in less than 2 minutes, applause turned to horror, and the crystal blue waters that once shimmered with beauty were tainted by tragedy. This is the chilling story of Jessica Radcliffe, a respected orca trainer whose final performance left a scar on the world of marine parks and raised questions no one could answer. If you're fascinated by the untamed, often brutal beauty of the natural world, where awe and danger coexist, then stay with us. Because this story will stay with you long after the screen goes dark. Jessica Radcliffe's love for the ocean began long before she ever stepped into a wetsuit. Growing up along Oregon's wild coastline, she spent hours watching waves crash against the rocks, her imagination diving deep into the mysterious lives of the creatures below. While other kids played games, Jessica filled notebooks with sketches of whales and dolphins. But it was the orca, the so-called killer whale, that captured her heart. She didn't see a monster, she saw a mind. Emotion. A soul. At just 12 years old, a documentary about orca intelligence and family bonds shifted her life forever. She watched these animals mourn their dead, communicate with eerie precision, and display empathy that rivaled humans. That day, Jessica declared her dream, not to perform with orcas, but to understand them. To work with them not as master and subject, but as equals. Her passion never faded. It only grew. She excelled in school and was eventually accepted into UC San Diego's elite marine biology program, where she immersed herself in animal behavior, marine psychology, and the ethics of aquatic life in captivity. Summers were spent volunteering at rescue centers, working unpaid internships, and studying the very creatures she hoped to one day protect. Her dedication caught the attention of Oceanland Marine Park, a private facility known for both its dazzling shows and scientific research. Jessica accepted their job offer as a junior trainer and moved her life to their sprawling coastal campus. The work was brutal, early mornings, icy dives, grueling safety drills, but she thrived. While other trainers focused on tricks and cues, Jessica focused on connection. She learned the unique personality of each orca, memorized their vocalizations, and paid attention to even the smallest changes in behavior. Her commitment earned her a promotion to senior trainer, and with it came a new partner, Kate. Kate wasn't just any orca. At 20 feet long and weighing nearly 6,000 kilograms, she was a powerhouse in the water. But it wasn't her size that made her special, it was her mind. She could detect emotion, respond to intent, and remember complex routines months later. The bond between Kate and Jessica was instant. It was clear to anyone watching, they weren't performing together, they were communicating. Jessica would swim beside her, not as a master but as a guest in her world. Kate followed subtle cues effortlessly, performed elaborate routines, and even appeared to miss Jessica when she wasn't around. Trainers called their relationship rare. Audiences called it magic. But beneath the surface shimmered a truth everyone knew, yet few dared speak aloud: orcas are wild animals. And wild means unpredictable. On a hot October afternoon, Oceanland's biggest show, Ocean Pulse, drew a full house. Families packed the bleachers, children waved cotton candy and pointed their phones at the pool. Jessica stood beside Kate, calm and smiling. The first half of the show went perfectly. Kate was flawless. Jessica beamed with pride as they prepared for the finale, their signature move. Jessica stepped onto Kate's back. The music surged, the crowd leaned forward. Then, Kate hesitated. It was a pause so subtle, most missed it. Jessica repeated her cue, first softly, then with more energy. Still, Kate didn't move. Then, suddenly, she dove. The audience, thinking it was all part of the act, watched with excitement, until Kate burst from beneath Jessica, launching her into the air with terrifying force. Jessica hit the water hard. People clapped, unsure if it was planned. Then Kate reappeared, and grabbed Jessica by the torso. Gasps, screams. Kate dragged her under the surface at lightning speed. A few bubbles, then nothing. Trainers ran, alarms blared, the crowd erupted in panic. Parents shielded their children. Phones stopped recording tricks and began capturing terror. 6 minutes later, divers pulled Jessica's lifeless body from the water. Her wetsuit was shredded, her body marked with deep contusions. Paramedics tried to revive her on the pool deck, but it was too late. Jessica Radcliffe was gone. The autopsy confirmed the cause: traumatic drowning, internal injuries. And the attacker? Kate. The orca Jessica had loved and trusted for nearly a decade. The park shut down. Kate was isolated. Staff were numb with grief. But the world outside began demanding answers. How could this happen? Experts debated. Some said it was miscommunication. Orcas read body language closely. A single wrong gesture could be mistaken for aggression. Others blamed captivity. In the wild, orcas travel hundreds of miles, hunt live prey, and form deep social groups. In tanks, they swim in circles, perform for food, and slowly unravel. This psychological stress, sometimes called zoochosis, can lead to erratic or violent behavior. Another theory pointed to pain, a hidden injury, illness, or neurological issue that made Kate act out not in rage, but in desperation. None of the theories explained the full horror of the attack. Kate had never shown aggression. She was considered one of the safest orcas in captivity. She and Jessica had performed the same routine hundreds of times. The tragedy echoed another, the 2010 death of trainer Dawn Brancho, killed by an orca named Tilikum at SeaWorld. That incident sparked a global reckoning, fueled by the explosive documentary Blackfish. But despite the outrage, the shows went on. Until Jessica. In the days that followed, mourners gathered outside Oceanland. They left flowers, candles, and tear-stained notes. A scholarship was created in her name. Meanwhile, activists demanded Kate be released. She doesn't belong in a tank, one protester said. Neither did Jessica. But the park refused. Kate, they said, could not survive in the wild. She remains in seclusion to this day. Some trainers say she's a shadow of who she was, refusing to eat, floating motionless for hours, responding to no one. Did she remember what she did? No one knows. Maybe she was confused. Maybe she was in pain. Or maybe the line between trust and instinct snapped, as it always could have. Jessica Radcliffe's death was more than a tragedy. It was a brutal reminder: nature doesn't follow scripts. Even the most intelligent, most loyal animal can act on instincts we'll never fully understand. No footage was ever released. No public trial was held. Some claim the park covered up details. Others say it was just a freak accident. But every time an orca leaps for a cheering crowd, a quiet question lingers. Could it happen again? Was Jessica the victim of chance, or of a system built on illusion? Let us know what you think. Was this preventable, or simply the cost of trying to tame the wild? If this story moved you, hit like, share, and subscribe to MW Recap, where the wild gets real.